Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing a follow-up on the Kospet Optimus 2, which we looked at a couple of weeks ago. Just bear in mind, I did ditch my smartphone about 6 months ago, so I'm hardly a heavy user when it comes to smartphone apps. I do have Messenger and WhatsApp installed on here. I don't have any banking apps, any email clients or anything like that, so it's fairly app light. And while I do have WhatsApp installed, I don't use it very often at all, tending to use it when I get home on my computer. As you might imagine, one of the biggest things with portable electronics is battery life, and that's one of the things we're going to look at in this experiment. Before we get started though, a big shout out to Andre Heyer, who hails from Germany and is the newest member of the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated, and I look forward to the input from all the members, including yourself, when it comes to members only videos and polls coming soon to help shape the direction of the channel. So let's see how I got on with the week. All the video footage is taken on the watch itself, and I took the photos on my trusty C902, although it did struggle a little with the bright watch face. So it's 8:30, I've just arrived at the car park at work. The battery level is at 99%. I've got my SIM in it. I've still got my C902 with me. It's in flight mode, and that's because I need it so I can take some photos and perhaps some videos of what's going on. So it's nearly 1 o'clock. My battery's still at 82%, which is pretty good. I did have to download an app over mobile data because I'd neglected to transfer all my contacts from my SIM. So I did that. I've also sent a few messages. I've looked at the news and checked WhatsApp. So I think we're doing pretty well for halfway through a day. Well, it's just gone 6. My battery's still at 67%, so I don't think it's doing too badly. I've got a little bit of filming to do and a bit of editing to do for the next video. So it's a little before 10 and I still have 47% battery left, which doesn't sound amazing, but it's not bad considering that it's been a fairly data heavy day, as I've been looking for a new messaging app. The one on here, when you receive messages, it doesn't actually list the name. A lot of the time it gives you the number, which is fine for a few people, but after that I'm really stuck and it does make it kind of difficult. So anyway, and I'm going to charge this up overnight, as tomorrow I need to be able to use it to hotspot. So it's just after 9, my battery is at 100%. I realise I need a haircut, although that'll have to wait, and I'm heading out on my own today, so I need to be able to hotspot off my watch. So let's get going. Well, it's 1 o'clock and I'm still at 84% battery, so actually I think I'm doing pretty well today. As you can see, I've got my trusty Garmin for navigating. You can do it on this watch, of course, and the pickup is very quick, but actually it's a bit small and I prefer a bigger screen. It helps that while I've been hotspotting, I haven't actually downloaded or been using any apps today, and so the battery lasts a lot better. In addition, because I've been out and about, I tend to get better phone signal than when I'm at work, and so the phone isn't radiating as much radiation trying to keep a phone signal. So it's 10 to 6. I've managed to finish making some DVDs for the theatre, which I'd promised to do a while ago. Oops. And my battery level is still at 59%, so I don't think we're doing bad today. I'm walking to the theatre. It's kind of 4 or 5 kilometres, something like that. So we're going to try out the walking app and see what it's like. I've got my budget AirPods to listen to some music while I'm on the way. So having arrived at the theatre after my walk, music playing and Bluetooth and headphones, super wide, and my battery's now at 38%, so a bit of battery anxieties. I still have to walk back, but we'll see how we go. So I've set off back. Of course, it's actually started raining, so we'll be able to test whether it's actually splash proof or not on the way back. I'm still at 36%, so let's hope the battery lasts. So I'm back from my slightly damp walk. Amazingly, this time, after the same 35-minute walk, I've actually only lost 7% of battery. So I assume that my battery was mainly gone because of the phone call to Superwife. I was on the phone for about 20 minutes as she is working away this week. So I think that's some fairly heavy usage for the day, given I've been hotspotting, listening to music, made a long phone call, done some messaging, and then listened to music while running the walking app for about an hour. So yeah, pretty heavy usage, and I still have 30%, although I do fear if I did much more, I'd soon run out of battery. So it's just gone 20 to 10. I've done a little bit of editing and now I'm going to call it a day. My battery level is still at 27%, which is pretty good, but I'm definitely not going to get another day out of it. So I'm going to charge it up tonight. I'm going to put it in the other mode tomorrow, and then we'll see how the battery lasts in the other mode while not using apps and bits and bobs. So it's Wednesday, a little after 8:30. There's no traffic, so I've arrived at work a little early, and I've swapped into the sports mode, which is like a 4G power saving mode. So I'll still get texts and calls, but in theory, it won't use any data, and it'll limit the apps I can use. We'll see how long the battery lasts, and we're going to try and get a couple of days out of it. So it's 1:05. I've done quite a lot of texting today. As you can see, I've got a 4G signal still, but because there's no apps running in the background, we're still at 94%, which is some impressive battery life. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. It's gone 5:15, so now most of the day is gone, but what hasn't gone is most of my battery, as we're still at 88%. I think that's quite impressive. Obviously I can't use any apps in this mode, but the battery life is excellent. Wednesday night, so obviously I'm down the climbing wall. If you're enjoying this video, a like and subscribe would be excellent. I am hoping to reach 4,000 subs by the end of the year, although it's not currently looking very likely, so your sub is important to me. And of course, if you're enjoying the channel overall and you'd like to help support the channel and guide its future, then consider becoming a member. So I'm back from climbing. It's now 9:05. I've just finished doing my last bit of editing and I'm rendering the video for a final watch through before it gets uploaded. And the battery is still at 79%. So I'm not going to charge it overnight, and we're going to see what it's like at the end of tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to have a beer, watch some TV before I go to bed. So it's nearly 8:30. I'm about to set off to work. My watch is currently at 64%, which I don't think is bad considering I left it on overnight. Of course, perhaps I should have put it in airplane mode, given that I wasn't expecting any messages. But anyway, that's how it is. Let's see how we do today. So it's 5:30. I've just got back from work. I've still got 41% battery, so I think day 3 might be a bit of a struggle, but we'll see what happens. I'm off to get some dinner, and then I'm off to Octopus, also known as underwater hockey. It is what it sounds like. It is a game of hockey played in a swimming pool underwater. Here's a bit of footage so you get an idea. So it's 8:20. I'm still at 32% battery, which is pretty good. Octopus was excellent, but I'm a little hypoxic, so I'm off to the pub for a pint. It's the only known cure. So I've got to work. It's just gone 9 o'clock. I'm at 11% battery and it's in power saving mode. I don't think I'm going to make it through the day. Good job, I've got that little portable charger. We'll see how we go. So it's 12:05. My battery's at 4%. We've stopped at a pub for lunch, but no beer because I'm working this afternoon. I'm not sure it's going to last much longer, so I'm going to put some charge in this now. 35 minutes later, we're back to 27%. Let's finish the day. When it comes to the walking app, I did see a couple of issues. The first and foremost is that the heart rate monitor, and it could be operator error, I might not have had the watch strap tight enough, but it told me that my BPM was 161. This is very, very unlikely, since the highest I've ever seen when I've been testing any kind of heart rate monitor is 115. In addition, on the first walk on the way to the theatre, I actually cut through some woods, which shaves a little bit of distance off, and on the way back I came back via a slightly longer route. However, you'll see from these numbers that it actually thinks that the second route was shorter, which I know for a fact it wasn't. Now it could be that my stride length was a little bit longer on the way back as I was in a bit of a hurry, but I thought that the walk tracker was supposed to use the GPS to calculate the distance rather than using the number of steps and then estimating the distance travelled using that. As for the other fitness apps, I can't really comment as I've not used any of them. It's worth noting that the antenna on the watch for phone signal isn't as sensitive as the C902, which means that in low signal areas I can still send and receive texts and make calls on here, but I can't on here. As a consequence of that, Obviously, in low signal areas, the watch is boosting its signal to its maximum output, and therefore it's using up that battery a lot faster than it otherwise would in a good signal area. If you're a heavy user of WhatsApp or Messenger or similar messaging apps, what you'll find is that unless you set it to non-optimized in the battery optimization settings, then once it goes to background, it stops checking for messages after about 10 minutes. This is a mixed blessing, so for me, this means I'm not interrupted by notifications. Instead, I have to check WhatsApp to find out if there's any messages. But for somebody who's relying on it for receiving messages and replying in a timely manner, I'm afraid that's not really ideal. The only other thing worth mentioning is that when you do try to use this to send messages, holding your wrist at this angle so that you can type is actually quite uncomfortable fairly quickly. I did try flipping it on the reverse, but honestly it's no better. It's just a slightly awkward position. And with the camera, I did tend to take it off and film using it in my hand rather than keeping it on my wrist for the same reason. Now, I'm not very flexible, so it could be a lack of flexibility on my behalf, and you might find that it's absolutely fine. If you have experience of this, please feel free to pop a comment below. As long as you're not a power user, then this absolutely could replace your smartphone. You can make clear calls using the built-in speaker as long as the background sound isn't too loud. It's better with Bluetooth headset, of course. And while the on-screen keyboard is very small, it's actually not that bad to type on, and there's always voice typing as an option. However, if you use SatNav or you spend a lot of time on messaging apps or receiving and sending emails, then this is not going to replace your smartphone. The battery isn't going to last long enough, and you're going to find it cumbersome writing those messages. It would still make an excellent secondary phone should you need or want one, and its ability to hotspot can certainly help you out at a pinch should there be no network service on your main phone. I think you'll all agree that this is a very cool piece of tech, and I hope that the companies responsible continue to make fully functional wearables like these. Sadly, however, when I went on the Kospet website not long since, it seems that they're having a sale and there's no sign of a Kospet 3. Making me think that this might be the last of their line. I also looked on the Lemfo site, as I mentioned. I've had two of their watches in the past, and they have no full Android wearables available. Zblaze still have one on their website, and there are a whole load of kind of off-brand Chinese ones, if you're willing to take a punt, available on Alibaba and eBay and places like that. So I'm hoping that watches like this will be around for a long time to come. Let me know what you think about a full smartphone on your wrist in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. As always, my name's Hugh. This is Handheld Computing. Thanks for watching.